Why are more women today choosing celibacy over casual sex? This question is sparking conversations across social media, podcasts, and dinner tables alike. In a world that often celebrates sexual liberation and hookup culture, a growing number of women are taking a different path. One that prioritizes self-discovery, emotional well-being, and intentional relationships. This shift is not just a trend, but a movement that is challenging long-held assumptions about female sexuality, empowerment, and what it means to live authentically. Today, we are diving deep into the reasons behind this phenomenon, exploring the stories, statistics, and social dynamics that are fueling this powerful choice. Celibacy, once associated primarily with religious vows or strict moral codes, is being redefined by a new generation of women. Recent surveys and studies indicate a noticeable increase in women who are choosing to abstain from casual sex, not out of obligation, but as a conscious, empowering decision. This rise is not limited to any one age group, background, or culture. From college students to professionals, women are sharing their experiences online, using hashtags like #celibacyjourney and #selflove to connect with others on similar paths. These stories reveal a common thread: a desire for deeper connections, greater self-respect, and a rejection of societal pressures that equate sexual activity with personal worth. To understand why this shift is happening now, it helps to look back at how women's sexuality has been viewed throughout history. For centuries, women's sexual choices were tightly controlled by cultural norms, religious teachings, and patriarchal systems. The sexual revolution of the 1960s and 1970s promised liberation, encouraging women to explore their desires freely. However, as the decades passed, many began to question whether the new freedoms truly led to fulfillment or simply replaced one set of expectations with another. Today's celibacy movement can be seen as a response to both the restrictions of the past and the excesses of the present, as women seek to define their own paths on their own terms. The decision to choose celibacy is deeply influenced by broader social and cultural changes. In recent years, conversations about consent, boundaries, and toxic relationships have become mainstream. Movements like #MeToo have empowered women to speak out about their experiences and demand respect. At the same time, there is growing awareness of the emotional toll that casual sex can sometimes take, especially when it is disconnected from trust or genuine intimacy. Many women are now prioritizing their mental health and emotional safety, choosing celibacy as a way to reclaim control over their bodies and their narratives. This is not about shame or repression, but about making choices that align with personal values and long-term happiness. Technology has transformed the way people connect, date, and form relationships. Dating apps and social media platforms have made it easier than ever to meet new people, but they have also contributed to a culture of instant gratification and superficial connections. Many women report feeling disillusioned by the endless swiping, ghosting, and lack of genuine communication that often characterize online dating. For some, choosing celibacy is a way to step back from the noise and focus on building meaningful relationships, whether romantic or platonic. It is also a way to resist the pressure to conform to digital trends that prioritize quantity over quality, and to cultivate a sense of self-worth that is not dependent on external validation. One of the most compelling reasons women cite for choosing celibacy is the positive impact on their mental and emotional health. Casual sex, while liberating for some, can lead to feelings of emptiness, anxiety, or regret for others. The emotional aftermath of hookups, especially when expectations are not met or boundaries are crossed, can be difficult to process. By choosing celibacy, women are giving themselves space to heal from past traumas, reflect on their needs, and develop a stronger sense of self. This period of intentional abstinence can be a time of growth, self-care, and renewed confidence. It is about prioritizing well-being over societal expectations and recognizing that true empowerment comes from within. For many years, empowerment was often equated with sexual freedom, the ability to say yes without fear or judgment. Today, a new definition is emerging, one that includes the power to say no. Women are reclaiming their agency by making choices that reflect their authentic desires rather than what is expected of them. This shift is not about rejecting sex or intimacy altogether, but about being intentional and discerning. It is about setting boundaries, honoring personal values, and refusing to settle for less than what feels right. In this sense, celibacy becomes a radical act of self-love and self-respect, challenging the notion that empowerment must always look the same for everyone. Of course, choosing celibacy is not without its challenges. Women who make this choice often face skepticism, misunderstanding, or even ridicule from friends, family, or society at large. There can be pressure to conform, to explain or justify one's decisions, or to navigate feelings of loneliness or isolation. Critics may argue that celibacy is regressive or rooted in fear, but for many women, it is a conscious, liberating choice. By sharing their stories and supporting one another, women are building communities that celebrate diversity of experience and encourage open, honest conversations about sexuality and self-worth. As more women choose celibacy over casual sex, the conversation around female sexuality is evolving. This movement is not about imposing new rules or judging others' choices, but about expanding the possibilities for what it means to live authentically. Whether celibacy is a temporary phase or a lifelong commitment, it represents a powerful statement of self-determination. By listening to these stories and reflecting on our own beliefs, we can all contribute to a more inclusive, respectful, and empowering dialogue about sex, relationships, and personal growth.